Hey everyone, hope everyone's having a great week so far, and we're back again, yet again, with part 4 of the multi-part series of another victim, Christopher Mitchell, scam victim, speaking out and giving his testimonial. And before we do that, we're going to educate all the newest followers, viewers of Christopher Mitchell, and possible customers that both him and Stacy have and continue to have been and continue to commit wire fraud at the serious federal level. And we've educated you all a couple years ago, and we warned Christopher and notified both Stacy, so they're well aware of the fraud they've been committing. So with that said, we're going to educate you all on what wire fraud is. Right here, you can see wire fraud shares many characteristics with regular fraud. Though it's committed through the use of phone lines or other wires utilizing electronic communications, wire fraud is committed in order to defraud another person out of money or something else of value to the financial gain of the perpetuator. Okay? That's Christopher Mitchell. That's Stacy Mitchell. Okay? Wire fraud is a federal crime. To successfully charge an individual with wire fraud, the crime must meet 4 specific elements. So let's read these for you guys, okay? And see if these match up with Christopher Mitchell, because we do have the checklist. 1. The defendant voluntarily concocted or participated in a scheme to defraud a person or entity out of money or something else. 2.5 years of my videos prove guilty of Christopher Mitchell, and both Stacy and Christopher Mitchell are guilty of that. Number 2, defendant perpetuated the scheme with the intent to defraud the victim. Well, we got all these victims coming forward, so that's guilty of that. Number 2, the defendant used interstate wire communications to perpetuate the fraud. Well, internet, phone is wire state commissions. The defendant should have known that interstate wire communications would be used to complete the fraud. Okay? Now, wire fraud refers to the fraud that committed through the use of wires, electronic means. Wire fraud may be committed using interstate wires, television, or radio communications, or internet, which is what he did. Wire fraud is an intentional act, which he has been doing, to defraud another individual or entity of his money or property, and is a federal crime punishable up to 30 years in prison. And to explore this concept, consider the following wire fraud definition: the crime of using the interstate wire, television, or radio communications, or the internet in order to defraud somebody. All right? And like I said, the checklist says right here, Christopher Mitchell has concocted 16 fraudulent schemes. 16. We got them on. We got it all documented. We turned it all over. In 2.5 years, with false claims, false results, fake prop money, fake testimonials, etc., etc. Check mark. Christopher Mitchell perpetuated each scheme with sole intent to defraud as many victims possibly out of their money. Each scheme, not just one scheme. He didn't do just one, everyone. He did 16 so far. Whether it's a blackjack strategy, whether it's selling baccarat strategy, whether it's coaching, whether it's these 16 times, okay? Christopher Mitchell used interstate wire communications to carry out his fraud. He used YouTube, email, phone, and Facebook. Christopher Mitchell knows, and I keep saying Christopher Mitchell, but it's Stacy Mitchell too, because we have her on record in multiple videos giving false claims, false testimonies, false results. Christopher Mitchell knows he's committing wire fraud, as he's been warned and notified multiple times. Christopher Mitchell has been emailed multiple times by myself, by my team, by multiple victims that did wire fraud. Christopher Mitchell watched my videos notifying or alerting to his wire fraud committing. Okay? So again, that makes it worse. That makes it worse. Like number 4 of the wire fraud definition, that person doesn't know, but he knows. He knows what he's doing. Christopher Mitchell has been reported to the FBI's Internet Crime Division by myself and many of his victims, and overwhelming evidence has been supplied to the FBI, and it continues. Now, anybody that doesn't know about the FBI, they take the report, and anytime there's more information or evidence, you call them up and you add to it. Doesn't mean there's a case. I'm not saying whether there is. I'm not saying there isn't. My guess is a POI, person of interest. All right, and when you do, is you add more to it. I'd like to add this to, and they take tips, they note takers, and they add to it. And there's tons of it, equaling probably $250,000 to over $500,000 scammed. Okay, so again, Christopher Mitchell and Stacy Mitchell may think they've been getting away with it, and they continue to get away with it, but they won't. All right, now without further ado, let's listen to our next victim's testimony.
This live two-day event coming up on June 21st and June 22nd. One of the things I'm going to teach you is how to beat the casinos every single day, so you don't ever have to lose again. That's right, guys. I'm the only gambler in the entire world who has the balls or the courage to say that on video for the entire world to see. Why? Because I can back it up. Documentation beats conversation, and my track record of success proves it. You're going to invest to come to this event. You can easily make that back. You can easily make thousands of dollars gambling at the casinos in the city that we're going to be at during this event, because part of this event, you will have time to go gambling at the casinos. This event is $1,000. Please pay very close attention to this. This event is $1,000. It will be the last event that I ever do where the price is only $1,000. My next mastermind event, which is coming up after June, you'll be made aware of that after the June event takes place. But that event will not be $1,000. I promise you it will be more. Family, I have fantastic news. We are inside of the Venetian Casino, and I am with Sia. Sia came here from Los Angeles to meet me. Is this the first time we've ever met before, yes or no?
Yes, Chris.
And check this out. He hired me for my personal one-on-one coaching, and he has never played the game of Baccarat before in his life. Is that true?
Absolutely. Never sat on a Baccarat table.
So in July 2020, YouTube scammer Christopher Mitchell, victim Sia, paid him $1,000 for a one-on-one coaching session. And let's listen to his testimony now.
Hey everyone, my name is Sia, and today is August 2nd of 2020, and it's a Sunday. Happy Sunday to all the Christopher Mitchell's followers and lovers. In this short video, I would like to share with you my experience of one-on-one coaching last week with Christopher Mitchell, and I also share with you his winning strategy that he gave us. So on 27th of the July of this year, I met him with two other of his clientele at Bellagio's restaurant Savials, and he asked us to make sure we do not film or record the conversation, just take a note, and he gave us his strategy, which if you may not see it well, but at the end of this this video I try to post it again. So we went over it. There was two other clients, one of them Dimitri, which he has a video with him back in June, is from Atlanta, Georgia, and the other gentleman is also from Georgia too, but I don't want to mention his name because he got his coaching on Skype on one-on-one. Maybe he doesn't want to be he really likes to keep him anonymous, so it's better that way, I think. So we head after lunch to Cosmopolitan, and Christopher bought in chips for $10,000, I bought in chips for $5,000, and the other gentleman from Atlanta bought in another $5,000. So we had $20,000 on the table of baccarat with Christopher. Our strategy was just follow Christopher bet to bet, unit to unit. So we start playing, and within 20 minutes, we all lost our banks. Christopher lost his 10,000, I lost 5,000, and the other gentleman lost $5,000 too. And within 20 minutes, we all lost our banks. Christopher lost his 10,000, I lost 5,000, and the other gentleman lost $5,000 too. And within 20 minutes, we all lost our banks. Christopher lost his 10,000, I lost 5,000, and the other gentleman lost $5,000 too. So we walked out of Cosmopolitan Casino with tails within our legs.
So as you all heard, in 20 minutes, just 20 minutes of the one-on-one coaching session, after paying Christopher $1,000, Christopher Mitchell lost his entire $10,000 bankroll, and both victims, Sia and the other guy, lost their $5,000 bankrolls. And that was the end of the session. Paying them $1,000 after being guaranteed to win, in just 20 minutes, they lost their entire bankrolls, and that was it. The session was over. Christopher went home. Sia went his other way, and the other client went his other way. Okay? But it gets worse. It gets worse. Let's keep listening.
Also, I need to mention this. Next day, I was at the Bellagio, and I was playing by myself, but I was using a different strategy of the baccarat. That's the least of 3 bets out of the last 3. And I was doing, I was a few $100s, nothing exciting. But Christopher was with another new client at another table, and he asked me if whenever it gets empty seats that I should move over, which I did within like 10 minutes or so. So I went to that table, and I dropped another $1,100 within 5 minutes. Christopher was with another new client at another table, and he asked me if whenever it gets empty seats that I should move over, which I did within like 10 minutes or so. So I went to that table, and I dropped another $1,100 within 5 minutes. Christopher was with another new client at another table, and he asked me if whenever it gets empty seats that I should move over, which I did within like 10 minutes or so. So I went to that table, and I dropped another $1,100 within 5 minutes.
So like I said, it got worse. It got worse, because as you heard, the very next day, Sia saw Christopher again, and he was with another victim, Christopher's another victim, client or whatever, and Christopher invited Sia over to play with them, and in 5 minutes, he lost another $1,100, and Christopher went broke, and the other guy went broke, and Sia lost another $1,100, and he said, that's it, I can't take anymore. So, to recap, Sia paid him $1,000 to go out there. He lost $5,000 in 20 minutes of his session, and that was the end of it. And the very next day, he was invited over again, and he lost another $1,100 in 5 minutes. Okay? Let's keep going. Because Sia also did the research on Christopher Mitchell's bullshit research strategy.
I said to myself, this is it. I walked away, and that was definitely showing me that his system, it doesn't work. I'm not putting Christopher down that he's a bad player, this and that. It's not that, it's just saying that, because the reason I'm saying that, because when I came home, I put the system to work, and I have my own way of, tracking and playing the games from my blackjack days. So on my kitchen table, I had my my setup with the decks, chips. I keep record and I keep the track of the shoes remaining, chips. The whole idea of that was to find out does really the system works or not. And I played 10 shoes and 75 hands on each the shoes, and out of 10 complete shoes, I won only one shoe with with few units. I think 4 or 5 units. But most other shoes, the 9 shoes, were lost in negative shoes, were anywhere between 11 to 16, 17 units on each shoe that I lost. So the system it doesn't work. He was giving it to us, Christopher. He said, "Oh, I put hundreds of hours in this thing. That's what I come up with. This is the ultimate system. It makes 99% accuracy." Just let you know, hey guys, you could take it. I give it to you. You try it before even you go in and try to put your bread and butter on a casino's table. Just let you know, I'm not a hater of Christopher, and I don't like to any of his haters to contact me and try to get information out of me. I'm just telling you what happened to me.
So as you all heard, Sia went home and researched the bullshit strategy that he paid for and Christopher was selling, and it only won less than 10% of the time of his entire research. Less than 10%. But Christopher Mitchell was guaranteeing it was 99% with his fake lies, fake testimonials, fake results, okay? Wire fraud that he was committing, okay? So let's keep going, and let's hear Sia's final opinion on this.
It may other good things happens to other people, the winning sessions and things, but when you go home by yourself and you try, or you go to a casino by yourself, you may see a different outcome. That's why I think, even Christopher talks about it all the time, that he gets emails from his previous clients that sell them. Oh, they lost this much, they lost that much, they lost their bank, and so on and so on. But it is the truth that I'm giving you. We dropped $20,000 at the Cosmopolitan Casino just following Christopher Mitchell's step by step. Now, don't get me wrong too. This system is not the end of the Christopher's innovations. Most likely, 2 weeks from now, he's gonna come up with another system to drag some other people in there into his gimmick. Say that, oh, this new system is gonna be ultimate 99.9% the winning chance. You just follow this system, you're gonna win. So this Christopher, he's a good salesman. He could sell you any bullshit, any garbage, and you walk away with it. You think you're happy, and then you're on your own. It's not the same.
So in closing, as you all heard, Sia knew he's a bullshitter, and that wasn't the end of his strategies and all this other shit and selling and scamming and all that shit. In fact, he came up with seven different 199% winning strategies. If one was winning 99% of the time, why would he have to come up with 7 different ones? All right, and his viewers and followers and believers could not see this on every video, could not comprehend. If he came up with one and it didn't work because all the scams, and finally, because it didn't work, his new bullshit, like Sia pointed out, was he came up with another one, and then when that got exposed, another one, And another one, and another one. Again, all wire fraud, all concocted schemes with fake results. He'd go to the casinos or whatever. He'd lie about the results. He'd get fake testimonials. He was using the internet, YouTube, and again, all to defraud many victims that we've already pointed out, and we're going to continue to point out because we got multiple, many of them, okay? So with that said, stay tuned for the next video of the next victim speaking out. And as always, we ask that you please give us a like. We're not making a dime off this, not a monetized channel. All we're asking for is a like for the content to move it up the algorithm so it gets searched higher, so it gets in the eyes and ears of more viewers, and to help them possibly not get defrauded by Christopher Mitchell and Stacy Mitchell. That said, have a great night. Stay tuned for the next video.